Let me talk to you about black love. Let me give you my definition of black love. It's the kind of love between a Nubian king and a Nubian queen. It's special and so supreme. It's the kind of love between a mother and a daughter, father and a son. Identify and join as one. Have love for your people, 'cause they're a part of you, And black on black crime, it ain't the thing to do. You gotta reach out for those that are lost and hold on to your identity at any cost. I'm talking about black love. You know we need it. You know we need it. Black love. You know we need it. We need it. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Do you ever wonder why the sun is shining but not in your view? You've got to rid your life of those clouds following you. Yeah, you've got to clear.
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Word from the Point. My name is Kwame Binta, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time out your evening to tune into Word from the Point. Tonight we're going to be talking about a very important subject matter, entrepreneurship. Black businesses, why we need to start black businesses, why we need to support them, and we're going to be talking about a particular company that I'm a member of. And I do have one of our members of that company here as one of my guests, and he's going to be also sharing some of his insights about entrepreneurship and, you know, why do we need to focus on creating our own economic infrastructure so that we can start taking care of ourselves and supporting each other and doing for self. This show is this is our 5th show. We got one more show coming next week, and we're going to have returning guests, members of the Virginia Hemp Company. A little bit about myself. I'm born here in Richmond, Virginia. I was raised in New Jersey. I am a father and a grandfather. I'm a little bit past 50 and a little bit under 60. Graduated from J. Saunders Reynolds Community College. I have a associate degree in community and social services. Never got a real job in that field. I basically took that just to sharpen up my skills as far as academia is concerned, and get a college degree also. But what I do is I belong to several organizations, one being the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League that was founded by the Right Excellent Marcus Messiah Garvey in 1914. At our heyday in the 1920s, we had over 10 million members worldwide. All African people, regardless of where we are, we consider ourselves African people, whether we're born in the Caribbean, South America, North America, Australia, or what. But there were people in this organization, you know, who understood that we needed to come together in unity and learn to love each other and learn to trust each other and start doing for self. But unfortunately, COINTELPRO started a long time ago. That's a counterintelligence operation that this government conspired to bring down this organization because they don't want to see us become independent economically. Anytime somebody starts speaking about becoming economically independent, something mysteriously happens to them. Ken Bridges is an example. You know, he came up with the Mai Tai movement. And for some strange reason, they said that the DC sniper assassinated him on his way back from North Carolina. He had this very important business meeting that probably would have took the Mai Tai movement to another level. talking about Paul Robeson. Paul Robeson, he was an advocate for justice for our people back in the day. He was a valedictorian of his school, All-American football player. He became a lawyer, but because of racism and bigotry in his system, he walked away from there and became a movie star and a singer and traveled the world. But when he started talking about the injustice and how we need to do for ourselves here in this country, they whiteballed him. He couldn't find work. He took his passport, so they strangled him economically, for many years. Same thing with Muhammad Ali, when he decided he didn't want to go to kill anybody, they took his means of making money away from him also. So today we find ourselves basically in the same position we were in 1865, really with no economic power in our communities. We don't own anything really, not even the barber shops that our barbers work in or the beauty salons that they work in. We don't own the land. Okay, without the land, we really have no power. Land does give you power, and that's why this country's gone over the world, taking everybody's land that they can. Also, I'm a member of the November Coalition, which is an organization founded in 1997 that's working to educate the people about America's longest war, which is the war on drugs. And I'm also a member of the Virginia Defenders, which is a citizens advocacy group who comes up with a quarterly newspaper. And one of the main things that we're working on right now is to try to prevent the mayor and the economic powers that be from putting a baseball stadium down in Shockoe Bottom in that historic district where our forefathers and mothers and sisters and brothers were auctioned off, tortured, raped, murdered. All kind of atrocities happened down there. And many, many, many people got very filthy rich during the slave trade of our people for many years. And so we don't want to bury that information. We don't want to, we want to make that a historic educational center so that the world can know just how this country really, really started, that's basically, about what I do as far as things in the community. I'm a personal fitness trainer, so if anybody's looking to improve their health, overall health, lose some weight, gain muscle, get faster, build confidence, agility, contact me. My information will be coming up on the screen. And also do property improvement work and improvement and renovation. Carpentry, painting, plumbing, we have those types of skills. And I'm just blessed that I do because there's really no jobs out here, So that's why we're doing this show today about entrepreneurship and how can we find ways and means to create a flow of income where we can sustain ourselves and not have to beg for a job and be on the plantation, and can't wait till Friday to get here. I see it all day on Facebook come Friday. Thank God it's Friday, because people are just not happy doing what they're doing. So we want to talk about entrepreneurship and how to become an entrepreneur and what ways that you can become one. And so without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest. I've been knowing him for several years. He's a member of the company that I'm a member of called Solavei, which is a company that offers individuals an opportunity to take back their freedom. Okay, it also offers the average individual opportunity to eliminate a bill that they're going to pay the rest of their life, which is a cell phone bill. And his name is Taz Hall, and I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell you a little about his background and what he does. And thanks for coming to the show.
Yes, sir.
It's all yours.
Thank you, Kwame. Good evening, family. It's a pleasure to be in your presence this evening. Again, my name is T.A. Hall. I joined Solavei, I guess, over a year or so ago, somewhere around August 2013. And I basically joined, and I admit it tonight, I was slow joining because Kwame had introduced this to me, oh boy, I think when he first got involved. And I was interested even at that time. I just didn't do it. But I regret dragging my feet. But I know tonight we're going to talk in general about entrepreneurship. And one of my biggest challenges in life is you can say a bit of procrastination, but again, I think we all have this as we engage life. Things become time taxing. So to make a commitment to do things is something we must take a serious look at. But to the chase with Solavei, I made money with Solavei from the very beginning. They had an offer where you make a referral, you introduce a person to Solavei, and you get paid for that. And you get paid as long as they pay their bill on a regular basis. And the phenomena is, I didn't look at it till I did a budget analysis about maybe, this month is October. I did a budget analysis back in July. And I realized I had saved over $5,000. And I hadn't been in Solavei a year. And I began to pay attention to how I could, what is the term? How I could assess resources, finance capital, but more, when I say resources, I don't do things personally just for money. Many people who know me, I'm not that much of an extravagant person. I don't need fancy cars. I don't need certain expensive things. But in doing ministry work that I do, street ministry, community ministry, working with homeless populations, working with populations at and below the poverty level. And this is not to single anybody out, but I have a longing and I know a calling and a compelling concern to engage populations in need. That being said, Solavei became phenomenal for me. And mind you, I was already in a network that offered resources. But Solavei was the first, or let's say one of the first, entities that I engaged that deal with what we call deregulation, which is a redistribution of wealth. The way Solavei approached that initially was multiple ways, but one of the main features was they use us, members, as their advertising. So that means people find out about Solavei through existing members. And for that, we get paid. The other phenomenon with Solavei, which I was always trying to figure out how to capture, was this spending power. If you look at the culture that we live in, and particularly amongst people of color and all people actually, we spend a lot, we buy a lot of things, we pay a lot of things. And I had for some time been developing a workshop called Transitioning Liabilities into Assets. And what this literally means in everyday language is everything we pay for, is there a way to get those things to pay us? Mm-hmm. Solavei is certainly one of those things. It is an essential thing because in that, Solavei does several things. Not only can you save money. Now, this becomes a hard selling piece for a lot of folks. But trust me, if you are interested in this type of business, and in this company in particular, focus first when you approach people about what they can save coming into Solavei. Mm-hmm. Right. And every time I saw Kwame, and I know this brother personally, I felt guilty, but it was a good kind of guilt. You know, it's a guilt I can laugh about. It's not the kind of shameful guilt that's so often in our experience in our neighborhoods. And we talked about this earlier. We must be candidly real. We face some serious atrocities in our environment. Right here in Richmond, our young people are going through so much public school deprivations, just an onslaught, if you will, of negativities. We tend to blame the youth, then we tend to blame their parents. And when we really, really look at this whole thing, our communities are broken. Our families are dismantled. Our families are constantly under attack. And so that being said, there becomes a need to have a vehicle of resource to harness our interests. And trust me, I'm not just saying this because I want you to think like me. What is your interest? What is your why? What is your mission? We are here for something. Mm-hmm. We're here for something. I mean, I can say, well, I got a good friend, Kwame, and he got a little money. I can borrow money from him. And I know I've always been blessed that way. But more importantly, what is available to us collectively? So I just want to summarize Solavei. You can save money. It provides income. It provides residual income, and we'll talk about that later. Mm-hmm. It provides opportunities for passive income, residual income, multiple streams of income. Consumer, let's say, resource payback award, right, or discount and or award. So that means we're approaching and have approached when we go back to school. If we look at our academic calendar years, whether we're looking at our public school systems, our colleges, what have you, private schools, those years, as we know, start in and around August, September, right at what we call, in this culture, a Labor Day season cycle. That's the beginning of those years. That's the beginning of a shopping phenomenon. Back to school, clothes, books, tuitions. Mm-hmm. Even public schools, there's things we got to pay for our children. Mm-hmm. Things that I must help pay after the children I help raise. Now I pay it for the children they're raising and for neighbors who need it. And sometimes in our ministry work, we do a campaign for clothes, and I have to give a heads up to the ministries who provide those things. But more importantly, we can get much of the dollars we spend back to our missions, back to our causes, back to our families,
back to our communities.
Back to our communities that need help.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, thank you, brother, for that. The analyst of Solavei and entrepreneurship. And I just want to add a few things. The music that we heard when we first came on was by a sister named Conscious Platt. Her website is consciousplatt.com. Beautiful, uplifting, inspiring music that she always puts out. She lives in Arizona, so you might want to check her website. That's Conscious Platt. Platt is short for platinum, so her name is consciousplatt.com. And we want become an entrepreneur. You know, I think that one thing that people need to really look at is to find out what you're passionate about. You know what I'm saying? What is your interest? Like brother said, what is your why? You know, and determine what it is that you would feel comfortable doing on a daily basis that you can earn income from, and try to channel your energy, channel your desire to make that your way of earning income. And that way you'll really never have to have a job because you're doing something that you love to do. Okay, and more likely you're going to be successful at doing that. You know, that's the difference between entrepreneurship, doing something that you really, really love doing, and working for somebody, doing something that you really hate doing. You know, if you're doing something that you really like doing, you're going to have energy. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have more energy, more drive, you're going to be more focused. When you're doing something that you don't like doing, your energy level goes down. You're going to be less focused. You're going to be less interest in doing what you're doing. So you're going to be less productive, you know, and your life's not going to be happy, you know. 8 hours out of a day, you know, who wants to be miserable for 8 hours for 5 days a week, you know? So there's a shift going on right now in the universe, you know. It's a transformation happening. It's time for us to really take a real serious look at where we are right now in our life and determine where we want to go to next, you know, because we only live one time, you know. And what I want to do is talk about something that I was taught by the late Lee Green, who was the founder of the Black Business Builder Club. And he gave a lecture years ago at the Majestic Eagles, and I have that tape. And he talked about entrepreneurship one-on-one. And one of the things that he pointed out was becoming an offensive player and a defensive player in the money game. And I'm just going to describe what the difference is of an offensive player and a defensive player. Okay. A defensive player is someone who has a business that's owned by a black-owned business in our community that is providing goods and services to our community that we need. And so by them being a defensive player, we're able to keep that money in our community, you know what I'm saying, instead of having to send it back out. And that money can be used to improve the conditions in our communities. You know, we can continue to recycle. That's being a defensive player in our community. And we don't have those, you know. Most of the business that we have in Churchill, Southside, Northside are owned by foreigners, and that's the truth. Only thing that we have as abundance as entrepreneurship is barbershops and beauty salons. You know, we have a few insurance companies, but most of us don't support those. We go for the major name brand insurance companies. I only know of one beauty supply store in Richmond, Virginia, owned by an African person. And when I use the word African, I'm referring to people of African descent, regardless of where they live at. I don't use the term African American, you know, because that's just for me personally. I don't consider myself an African American. I was born in America, but I'm an African first, you know, and because, you know, by labeling ourselves as an African American or Jamaican or South American or Cuban, it separates us as a people. We're African people regardless of where we're born, you know. So that's basically what a defensive player is in the money game. Someone who sets up a business in a black community, a brick and mortar business, online business, you know, and is able to get some of that money, channel back into the black hands and recycle back out into the black hands. Become an offensive player. That's what we really need to start working on, okay? Becoming an offensive player in the money game means that we can set up a business where we can go out and get money from other people and bring it back to our communities, you know? We can sell stuff to each other, but we need to learn how to sell stuff to other people, you know, so we can provide service to ourselves. We need to learn how to provide service for other people so they can use our services and our goods and bring that money back into our community. Those are the two different things: offensive player, the money game, and a defensive player in the money game. And talking about Solavei, what Solavei offers us is both. Okay, it offers you an opportunity to become an entrepreneur. Okay, to become a defensive player because you have a business now. Okay, and also become an offensive player because Solavei, the company, actually pays you. It will pay you back. And no other cell phone company, no more or technology company is offering this opportunity that Solavei is offering. People look at it as a mobile cell phone company, and it really is not a mobile cell phone company. Solavei is a technology company. It was voted as one of the top 100 technology companies of 2014 by a magazine called Red Herring. We're going to grab this call real quick, and we'll be right back with that. Welcome to Word from the Point. You got a question or comment?
Yes, I like the topic you're talking about tonight. And could you give me a little bit more information on Solavei? How do I get involved, and what are the benefits of me going with Solavei rather than staying with my company that I'm with now? Thank you.
Okay. We'll get right on that. I think that's where I was leading to. But like I said, Solavei offers us the opportunity to become offensive players and defensive players. Okay, we use T-Mobile's nationwide 4G LTE high-speed network to provide the service to our members. So you have nationwide 4G, nationwide mobile service or on cell phone. There's no joining fee. All you have to do is pay your first month service to become a member of Solavei. And there's 2 ways to join, so I'm gonna give you the first one first. And that's become a member with service. You pay your first month service. For example, we got rates starting at $29 unlimited voice and text, $39 unlimited voice, data, and text, $49 unlimited voice, data, and text. Depending on how much high speed you need will determine the rate plan that you choose. You get 500 megabytes at $39, and you get 2 gigabytes at the $49. Right now, if you join Solavei before this month is out, you'll be able to save $10 off of each of your first 3 months. So instead of joining for $39 this month, you can join for $29. At the $29 rate plan, you can join for $19. And if you enroll 6 people within Solavei through their website that they will provide you at no extra cost, at the $39 plan, now you have eliminated your cell phone bill. As long as they remain members of Solavei and pay their bill, Solavei is now going to pay that bill for you. So first of the month, 15th of the month come along and that bill is due, you don't have to worry about it. So that's one thing that we offer people that no other company that I know of is offering, an individual an opportunity to eliminate a cell phone bill. If you have a $100 a month cell phone bill and you eliminate that bill, you've just added $1,200 to your yearly income. You know, it don't sound like a lot, but it is a lot. You know, you can take that money and buy food with it, or pay a light bill, you know, buy some shoes or whatever, you know, but that's a savings right there. Now, another way to become involved in Solavei, this just happened October the 1st. Prior to October the 1st, you could actually start this business with no investment whatsoever other than your first month service. But Solavei has transformed itself into more of a multi-level marketing business. Now, I know that term would probably turn a lot of people off because, you know, there's a lot of scams going on and people really don't understand what network marketing is all about. But this is what network marketing is to me. It's about people helping people become successful. On a regular job, everybody is fighting each other to get to the top. You're stabbing each other, you're lying on each other, you're doing whatever you can to keep your job so that you won't lose it. In network marketing, you have people, individuals inside who want you to become successful, who want to see you live your dreams and reach your goals. In network marketing companies, there's already training available, okay? There's a support mechanism inside. Now, that's not all of them. What you got to do is do your homework. You know, you don't just jump into a network marketing company. You got to make sure that there's a need for this product or service. And there is a need for the product and service that Solavei provides. Everybody has a cell phone that I know of almost. I don't think anybody that has one could actually live without it, you know. And it's something that just about everybody has to have. And so that's the first product that Solavei came out with, was mobile service as a communication device so that we can get the latest information and updates. We can use that mobile device to invite people to join Solavei because it's actually a social commerce network versus a social network. Well, members have what we call My Solavei, where we can go inside, get the latest information, share information, we can high-five each other. We can send out invitations on different social networks like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, you name it, or send them out on emails to introduce people to Solavei. So you don't really have to go out to do Solavei. You can actually just sit in your car, sit in your house, right on your phone. You don't actually have to have a computer even to do this. All you really need is a smartphone to do this business. And the other way to join Solavei now is called a brand partner. In order to become a brand partner, you have to make a one-time investment. But with that investment, you will receive a a package, a kit that contains marketing materials, the SIM cards that we use to activate the phone. You'll receive training, online training, and support, the website. You get everything you need to become successful in this business. And that's just a one-time fee. You get 6 people, now you've eliminated your cell phone bill. So you have a business now that has no overhead. You don't have to worry about no rent. You ain't even got to worry about your cell phone bill. All you got to do is now bring people into the network. Okay, and they have bonuses, fast action bonuses, where if you get 15 people in 3 months, that's $800 bonus money that you done made. You're now an ambassador. You're receiving residual income from those people right there. We have a plan that if you can help get 15, help them 15, get 15, you're on your way to the Mercedes-Benz Club, where you'll be riding around the Mercedes-Benz making almost $100,000 a year. In a short time period. It can happen. And there are members in Solavei who prior to October the 1st were making $20, $15, $10, $5,000 each and every month. Okay, they got in the beginning, they knew people, they had networks already set up, so people came in, and so they started making money. So that's basically what Solavei is about. And what we want to do is tell you that times have changed. The days where you can work for 40 years, for 40 hours at a job and retire and live comfortable, if they ever exist, they don't exist anymore. So people who have jobs, they need to start looking at ways to add to their income,
And certainly, and if I can add to the gentleman that called, number one, and you probably thank him again for calling. Consider the fact, even people with contracts, once you eliminate a smartphone bill, and we all know families this is happening with. You got young people in school. They need those phones with internet access to do academics, as well as to keep in contact with you when you're at work, or to keep them from being latchkey youth or latchkey children. So you take an average household can have 3 or 4 phones under one contract easy. But there's a way that you can downsize that contract, pull in a couple of Solavei phones, and before you know it, you're saving. And then when you save, if you pay it forward to yourself and invest that $298 to become a brand partner, before you know it, you're making that money back. And we show you how to do that. And 2 of the things that I want to summarize tonight, you couldn't come in at a better time. I have to say this, Kwame's team, I'll say his teams, of which I'm a part of one of those teams. And I have partners or members who have their own teams. In this area alone, we're at the point of what I call critical mass. And what I'm saying is the movement has started. You couldn't come in at a better time. I promise you, if you're willing to do this and and if anybody has introduced you to Solavei in this area, whatever area, the ethics says get back with that person.
Right.
But the reality is the support is with this team, with our teams, because we have sessions. We're going to have technology workshops. We're going to have information workshops. We're going to have residual growth workshops. We're going to talk about maximizing this critical mass.
Mm-hmm. On the 25th of this month, like on the 25th of this month at Martin's on Forest Hill Avenue at 11 o'clock, that's a Saturday, we'll be having a training. Welcome to Word from the Point. You have a question or comment?
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother.
How you doing?
Okay, sweetie. Listen, I'm with Verizon, and they had cut off the community station. And I had some more people to call, raise hell about it. And finally we got it back on. I missed you last week and everything. And I couldn't understand these things. I gave them hell.
Okay.
So I'm listening. I'm listening. But when they do dirt and we are paying, we are supposed to speak up. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. And I'm proud. I'm proud of you. You know, you speak what you need to speak and let them know what time it is.
Because I had called the boys and they told me, they said, well, it's on, but it was on with Comcast and I'm with Verizon.
Okay.
So I had, no, they don't want to mess with me because, see, I pay my money and I'm never late. So you're dealing with a crazy black woman. So I'm with you and I'm listening, my darling. And I want everybody to hear me. If they try to knock these stations out and you guys paying that cable money, raise hell, baby. Bless you, my brothers. I'm going to hang up now.
Okay. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember last week she tried to call and couldn't get, she called the station and she didn't have no cable. They turned that station off, so she missed last week's show.
Well, if I can just interject this, when we talk about, and I understand the reservations some people can have about multi-level marketing, pyramid, whatever, but understand something. When a company is deregulated entity, it is backed by federal law, which is the law of the land, and there's parts of that law that I know are not in our favor, but this particular one is, because deregulation says monopolies must deregulate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there must be a redistribution of retail value wealth. What Solavei has done is allowed us to not only get part of that wealth through their what would have been their large, humongous advertisement budgets.
Right.
And I'm saying budgets with an S, because advertising continues. Just talk to any corporate exec. Just do your own research.
Any business, small business, large
exactly.
business. I mean, advertising.
You have to advertise.
Yeah.
You have to advertise.
Yeah.
But it also engages us in social media that allows us to market that in our interest.
Right.
And through this social media, we can promote our own whys. Mm-hmm. We can promote, let's say somebody, what are you doing? I at one point was taking care of my parents. And we're honored to do that. But the challenge with that is you can't work like you were working and you need that income. So I had to give up income to provide for them in a physical presence way that I wasn't able any longer to provide resourcefully. So Solavei can fill all those voids. If we have young people with special needs, autism, Kwame already talked about how he went back to school. He's certified to do certain things. He has different other skill sets. We can finance our own operations. We can gain resources. There's no amount of money that you cannot amass. The critical mass, and what we mean by critical mass, when we talk about our communities, our critical mass, there's a national interest that says the critical mass is 12 to 20%. But our critical mass, people of African influence, people of African descent, believe it or not, is 2 to 5%. Because if we talk long enough, we're related some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. Our communities, our families are closer than we realize. And we are at that point. So make that work for you.
Yeah, and the mission of Solavei is real simple. It's to make commerce less expensive for its members or even profitable. And like I was saying earlier, we came with the mobile cell phone service as our first product. But we also have what we call Solavei Marketplace. They pay us on this purple Visa card on the 12th of each month. And we could load that card at different MoneyGram locations. We can use that card for direct deposit. And when we use that card, also the money's deposited on that card. I said that first, but when we use that card, like today I had to order some business cards. I went through Solavei's marketplace and I got 8% cash back from Vistaprint when I ordered my business cards, because I just started another business. I'm going to be able to provide holistic health and wellness products for my personal fitness clients, you know, at a discount rate. And if they want to monetize it themselves, they can also have that same opportunity too. I always look for businesses that the average person that can get involved in with very little investment. The biggest investment that you need to put into any business, whether it's a brick and mortar business or online business, is your time. If you don't, your business is going to fail. I don't care what business it is. If you have a business and you don't put some time into it, it's not going to work. The great thing about multi-level marketing, network marketing, is that you could put in the work for about a good 2 to 4 years. Then you really don't have to do any more work, because everything is in place now, and it's like almost on autopilot. You know, your network will continue to grow because the people that you have brought in see the opportunity, and then they're going to share this opportunity with other people. A lot of people say, well, I'm not into network marketing and all that stuff, but don't realize that they do it all the time.
That's right.
But they just
Correct.
don't get paid.
Correct. You do it. We all network market.
If you go to a restaurant,
there you go,
and you got great service,
correct,
the food is awesome, you go and tell your friend, and they more than likely gonna go to this restaurant and purchase this food. The only difference is you don't get compensated for marketing this restaurant for them. But in network marketing, if you have a product or service that you believe in, and you share this with another individual, and they decide they want to use this product or service, then you will get paid over and over again every time this person uses this product. And if they introduce it to other people, you'll get a piece of that also. So it's like getting 1% of 100 people's work versus getting 100% of your work. I'd rather get 1% of 100 people's work versus 100% of my work, because what that does now, it gives you money and it gives you time to do what you're passionate about. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to be in those mobile cell phone company business. That's not what I want to do. But this is an opportunity for you to raise the capital to do what it is that you want to do.
Right.
You know, and you'll have this extra $3,000-4,000 a month coming in. Now you can focus on what it is you really want to do.
And what business is it that doesn't have a phone line?
Right, right. I mean,
yeah. So no matter how many businesses you have,
you're gonna need a phone for your business.
You're gonna need a phone.
Right.
And again, I just briefly, I have other interests. I do community and street ministry. We do homeless youth, as well as families in despair and distress, suffering from homelessness. So we need phone lines. That's imperative. Mm-hmm. So why not, again, transitioning liabilities into assets? Whatever it is we have to pay for, get that to pay us.
Yeah. And like I said, Solavei came out with the cell phone first, but we're going to come out with other products. We're going to come along with insurance. We'll eventually have cable. We'll eventually have internet. We're going to have other products and services that you use every day. You'll be able to get at a savings, and if you choose to, you can get at a profit, you know. And like I said, up until October the 1st, there was no monetary investment other than your first month's service. But now, as of October the 1st, you must invest, you know. And if you invest your money, we have a team here. We're ready to help you get that free mobile service and start growing that network so that you can have more money and more time to spend with your family, to spend in your community, to spend on vacation if that's what you want to do, if you want to take a trip to Virginia Beach or Florida, whenever you want to. Network marketing, believe it, will give you the opportunity. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, says that rich people look and build networks. Everybody else looks for work. Right. And that is so true. Most of these major corporations are networks. You know, AT&T is a network. You know, General Electric is a network. And all of them are designed under a pyramid. You have someone at the top, you have people under that person, and people under this person. But the people at the bottom can come up in a regular business, but in a network marketing business, the people at the bottom can come up a whole lot faster because the people at the top are trying to bring them up. You know, they're trying to bring everybody up so everybody can be successful, so the company can be successful, the people can be successful, and then we can all be and live a life of abundance and not have to struggle. I mean, I was texting, I got an inbox by somebody today, they looking for a job and a place to stay. And they was working, they had a good, quote unquote, government job, you know, working for the police department. But now that job is gone, you know.
No job security.
So there's not even job security in the police department because, you know, I don't think that they laid the person off or fired them because they didn't have no work. But it's a lot of stress involved in certain jobs. And some people, you know, personalities may clash. And before you know it, you may find yourself in the unemployment line. So if you have a job or don't have a job, you need to really start looking at another way to create your own source of income so you don't have to depend on nobody to tell you what time to be to work, how much money you're going to make, what time you can go home. You want to be able to determine that on your own, you know. And one way to get in with not having to spend $100,000 buying a McDonald's franchise and then have to employ a whole bunch of people and all this stuff is to look at a company that's doing network marketing, low investment. Only the big investment you need to put in is your time, you know.
And I just want to share this. I know a lot of our community, our friends, our loved ones, you're struggling.
Yeah.
You might say, well, where am I going to get the $300? Come in it to save money. Just take a look at that.
Yeah.
Take a serious look at coming in this to save money.
Yeah, because they eliminate that bill. Right. They can take that money, put it to the side. We will show you how you can do this. Yeah.
And we work with you. We don't throw you away.
Right.
But again, it's worth it. What do you need to do? What about the future for your young people? And if you're single, you know, what about the future of our neighborhoods? You know, a lot of the atrocities we're looking at because the resources have been depleted from our neighborhoods. Right.
People are just scrambling for the crumbs.
That's the bottom line to a lot of. Sure, it's other kinds of things. It's all those hate things. But I'm here to share with you, and I think many of the listening audience knows better than I do. Mm-hmm. Hate can't conquer love. Stupidity can never conquer intelligence. Where is our intelligence to enhance our own missions? Where is our intelligence to promote our whys?
Yeah, T.A. Hall, would you like for the audience to be able to get in touch with you after the show?
Sure.
If you want to, you can give your phone number out, you know, or email or whatever ways you want them to connect. And
hopefully it will be approached the screen. Again, my name is T.A. Hall. That's my legal name. And for those of you who know me, I have an unusual first name. But for simplicity, we'll go with Taz Hall. That's a family name, which is in my email. T as in Tom, Z as in zebra, Hall, Hall, @yahoo.com is the email. And of course, you can reach me, again, SOL Blitz. We have a youth focus for academic excellence with the SOL. That's my Solavei team. And SOL is short for Solavei. So it has a double meaning. But a young lady, a very beautiful sister who works as a professional with the NAACP, she wanted to know, well, how will you pay our youth? We can pay the youth multiple ways for SOL excellence. But Solavei is the most available, quickest, rapid way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, you can reach me, T.A. Hall, SOL BLITZ, TZHALL at yahoo.com, 804-201-9265. Again, that number, 804-201-9265. Thank you very much.
Last week's guest was members of an organization called SCARS, and they're going to be doing a event next week, well, on the 25th of October, at a place called the Mix Gallery at 12 West Broad Street. Mm-hmm. The name of this program is called Purple Pillow Talk. And what it is, it's going to be talking about the naked truth about domestic violence to commemorate Domestic Violence Awareness Month. What they're going to have there is a theatrical productions from Sisters with Voices. They're going to have exhibition, music, giveaways, empowerment, poetry, and vendors. Tickets are available. You can go to ticketleap.com. That's TICKETLEAP.com, or you can go to SCARS.com. STARSorg.com. That's SCARSORG.com to purchase your tickets in advance. If you contact me, I can give you a code where you can get an extra $5 off the ticket. The tickets are $20, but you can get an extra $5 off. I got a code that you can get a little discount. But this is going to be a 5-hour presentation starting at 5 p.m. and ending at 10 p.m. on October the 27th at the Mix Gallery at 12 West Broad Street, Richmond, Virginia. It's called the Purple Pillow Talk. So, domestic violence and abuse is a very serious issue. And I got these shades on. Not because I'm trying to be cool, because my regular reading glasses, I had to take them back to the shop because I really couldn't focus that well. So they had to do some kind of adjustment on them. So for the next week or so, I'm going to be using my shades at nighttime and in the daytime. And next week, we're going to have returning guests, Savion and Clarence, who are members of the Virginia Hemp Company, will be back on the show talking about the progress that they have made in the short 2 weeks that we aired our show. The Virginia Hemp Company is about to bring hemp to Virginia. We've partnered up with a couple of universities in West Virginia and Virginia, where we're going to be, at the forefront of transforming this economic conditions here in Virginia by leaps and bounds, by just introducing which was once called a new $1 billion crop in 1938 by Popular Mechanics magazine. Now it's going to be a new $1 trillion crop for the citizens of this country because the time has come. The government can't stop, like you said, when the time is right. You just can't stop it. The people are waking up.
Correct.
The people are more aware.
Correct.
Like I said, there's a shift in this whole universe that's taking place. You know what I'm saying? Those who are down are not going to be down for too long. And those who are at the top, well,
either move over or get
I don't even want to say what just may happen, but we're in for some beautiful things that's going to happen, Solavei was founded on September 21st, the fall equinox 2012. Solavei stands for sun in your veins. Sorry. We was going to bring in a couple of more people from Solavei, but we only have a few more minutes left, But there's some people, in the studio who are members of Solavei. One of our technicians is a member.
Right.
Well, two of them. One of the volunteers is a member of Solavei,
If I can summarize briefly and just give it back to you to close, keep this in mind. If you're working a job that you don't like, that's added stress. You're bringing that stress back to your family. Take a look at this. Take a look at this as an alternative of hiring yourself somewhere else. And again, join our ministry cause to help house homeless populations and youth in particular. The homeless rosters of our homeless youth have increased exponentially in our public schools, HBCUs, and a lot of public colleges. Mm-hmm. We can make a difference. Right. We can make a difference.
And I want to encourage you to find me on Facebook. My name is Kwame Binta. I have a group called Strive on there. That's my health and wellness group. There's about 500 members there, but we daily update that group with information that can transform you mentally, spiritually, physically, and economically. You know, Strive doesn't just focus on physical fitness. It's focused on the total holistic well-being of the human being. It's about healing through fitness, nutrition, spirituality, and economic development. So find me on Facebook. My name is Kwame Binta. The group is called Strive. We also have a group on Facebook called the No More Cell Phone Bill group. That's my group for Solavei, because that's what I'm trying to get people to realize, that you can eliminate a cell phone bill. You know, there's no need to continue to pay the cell phone bill. You know, this is the new era of no more cell phone bill. You know, right. At one time you used to have to go to a video store to rent a video. You don't have to do that no more. They're gone. One day, cell phone stores are not going to be as plentiful as they are now. You know, online Correct. Is the way to go. You know, take advantage of modern technology, because the money is there. There's so many ways to make money other than begging somebody to allow you to be on their plantation while they feed you crumbs and give you all kind of hell on a regular basis. So you can't wait till Friday to get here so you can say, thank God it's Friday, and then you want to just go out and party and just let it loose because you've been stressed all week long. And that's just a waste of time. Waste of time all week long, and then a waste of time on the weekends. So we need to look at how we're spending our time. You know, if you're happy doing what you're doing, keep on doing it. If you're not, take a look at what we're trying to offer y'all and get on board. You know, so we're running out of time, and I'd like to thank everybody who called in. I'd like to thank my guests.
Yes, thank you,
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Kwame.
We'll be back next week, like I said.
Thank you, listening audience.
With the Virginia Hemp Company. And if you want to get more information about the Purple Pillow Talk, you can contact me, 804-389-2768. And my website is my name, kwamebinta.ws. WS stands for website, not .net, not .org. It's .ws. And that's also an opportunity to make some money. If you go to my website, there's several opportunities there where you can create your own way. And not have to depend on looking for that job, just over broke. Yep, so that's it.
Thank you.